It's week 5 of the Blue Collar Football League season, and this week we have a rematch as the Cincinnati Dukes hosted the Port City Spartans. The Dukes beat the Spartans 3 weeks ago in Portsmouth 30-8, and followed that up with back-to-back shutout wins against the Capital City Mustangs and Indiana Tornadoes. The Spartans split a player game since then against the Southern Ohio Blaze and the Mustangs, so a win by the Dukes would put them in control of the Eastern Conference's Blue Division. On the game's first play from scrimmage, Kamani Murray looked deep for Darion Brown, but Keon Gage was there. He held on long enough for the interception for the Spartans. Port City faced a 3rd and 4 when Noah Corbett lofted a pass. Fred Crozier brought it in. He wasn't touched, was able to get back up, and made it all the way to the 40-yard line for a 30-yard gain. Later, with 3rd and 24 for Port City, when Corbett again went deep, just out of the reach of 2 defenders into the hands of Corbett, he was able to easily get into the end zone for a touchdown, putting the Spartans up 6-0 after one quarter. In the second quarter, Aubrey Harris launched this 61-yard punt all the way down to the Spartans' 2-yard line. Most of this return is going to get wiped out by an illegal block penalty, and Port City is going to end up starting at their own 3-yard line. But again, on 3rd down, Corbett stepped up, looked deep, and there was Crozier again behind the defense, and he's just going to pull away for a 95-yard touchdown, and the Spartans' lead is now 12-0 with 10:06 remaining in the second quarter. Tay White went in at quarterback for the Dukes, but his second pass was picked off by Marcus Johnson. He brought it back 22 yards before finally stepping out at the Dukes' 37. 2 plays later, once again, it's Corbett going deep and finding Crozier. The Dukes are able to push him out at the 5-yard line this time. A penalty pushes the Spartans back, and on 4th and goal, Corbett is unable to scramble his way into the end zone. But with less than 3 minutes remaining in the first half, the Spartans have 218 yards of offense to -8 for the Dukes. After Tay White finally runs for the Dukes' first down of the game, he then finds Al Grace for a 16-yard gain. And then he scrambles before flipping this pass to Justin Cornwall, who picks up 19 yards into Spartans territory. Then it was White looking over the middle. He finds Cornwall again for 21 yards down to the 28. And with Lamar Tabor now at quarterback, he finds Cornwall, who's able to stiff arm his way out of bounds at the 14-yard line with 30 seconds left in the first half. But on the final play of the half, Tabor looks for Cornwall. Chance Freeman's there to knock it away, and the Spartans hold on to their 12-0 lead at halftime. A short punt early in the third quarter set the Dukes up with great field position, but when Tabor tried to scramble, he lost hold of the ball, and Vincent Kinney was there to eventually fall on it for the Spartans. On Port City's second play, Corbett looks deep once again. This time, it's Nyshawn McCall hauling it in for a 36-yard gain to the 46. But 2 plays after that, Corbett with the short pass this time. Nick Johnson is going to pull this ball out and recover it. That is a fumble, with the ball going back to the Dukes. After a short pass on their first play, Tyler Anderson takes a handoff, burst through, makes one cut, and moves ahead 24 yards down to the Spartans' 17. But the Dukes can advance no further. And on 4th down, Taborn's pass for Cornwall is incomplete, giving the ball back to the Spartans on downs. The Dukes force a punt, and after Justin Cornwall fields it at his own 47, he slips by one defender and bursts his way forward down to the 20-yard line for a 33-yard return. And this time the Dukes do cash in. First, Tyler Anderson goes ahead 12 yards inside the 10. And then on the final play of the third quarter, Taborn rolls out. He finds Cornwall, gets his feet down in the end zone for a touchdown. And after 3 quarters, the Spartans' lead is down to 12-6. In the fourth quarter, Port City worked to rebuild their lead. First, Corbett hit Meach Hall for a 14-yard gain to the 39. Then, with Duke Edwards now in at quarterback, he evaded one defender before looking deep, and oh no, once again, wide open, Fred Crozier, his 3rd touchdown of the game. This one a 41-yard touchdown. and the Spartans' lead is 18-6 with 10:29 left in the game. Down by 12 once again, the Dukes turn to the ground this time. It's Brent Robinson moving ahead 14 yards into Spartans territory. Then on 3rd and 5, Taborn connects with Tay White for 12 yards. And then Taborn finds Cornwall over the middle for 19 yards down to the 10. But on 2nd down, after Taborn recovers the high snap, Deion McKinley is still there to bring him down for a sack. And on 4th down, a deep pass for Kovion Spikes goes incomplete, giving the ball back to Port City with 4:10 left in the game. Edwards does pick up one first down for the Spartans with this bruising 12-yard run. But Port City still has to punt, and the punt by Edwards goes all the way to the 18-yard line before it is finally recovered by Cornwall. After yet another stiff arm, he just has to follow his blockers. He's going to make his way all the way 49 yards to the Spartans 33 before he is finally brought down by Edwards. With just 1:31 remaining now, Taborn, after eluding some pressure, just fires one for the end zone. It is picked off by DeArtis Dudley. He's going the wrong way, however, and Tay White is going to bring him down. They're going to call him down at the 1. The Dukes force the punt and get the ball back with under a minute remaining. Taborn then hits Brown. He gets out of bounds with 34 seconds remaining. Then Taborn buys some time and he finds Aubrey Harris in the end zone for a 19-yard touchdown. The 2-point conversion is good, and it's 18-14 Spartans with 20 seconds remaining. Port City easily recovers the onside kick that follows, and the Spartans are able to celebrate an 18-14 win on the road against their division rival. Crozier obviously stood out for the Spartans. He finished with 6 catches for 253 yards, with half of his catches going for touchdowns. He scored on passes of 54, 95, and 41 yards. Corbett completed 9 of 19 passes for 267 yards and 2 touchdowns. Edwards' lone completion was the 41-yard touchdown to Crozier. Deion McKinley led the Spartans defense with 3 tackles, all for loss, and had 2 sacks, while Chance Freeman had 5 pass breakups. Lamar Taborn was the most successful of the 3 quarterbacks used by the Dukes. He completed 7 of 18 passes for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. Justin Cornwall had 5 catches for 74 yards and also had 2 punt returns totaling 82 yards. Sean Sullivan led the Dukes defense with 9 tackles. The Dukes actually had 15 first downs to just 8 for the Spartans, even though Port City ended up with the edge in total offense, 328 yards to just 198 for the Dukes. Cincinnati also scored on only 2 of 6 trips inside the red zone. Meanwhile, in Bardstown, the Kentucky Cardinals hosted the Indiana Tornadoes, and was the Tornadoes getting an early 2-0 lead when this snap went over the punter's head for a safety. Late in the first quarter, Corey Bridges took a pitch along the left side and he burst forward for 24 yards down to the 12-yard line. Then, on 4th and goal, Dominic Rogers fired a pass in the end zone and was deflected and caught for a touchdown, and the Tornadoes led 10-0 at the end of the first quarter. The Tornadoes opened the second half with a 12-play drive that ends with this 3-yard touchdown to Rodney Sutton, trust me on that, and it's 16-0 Tornadoes. The Cardinals begin to work their way back. Nick Elder with a 28-yard pass gets the Cardinals to the 27-yard line. Then on 4th down, Elder hits Mikey Richardson for 26 yards. He's going to work his way down all the way to the 1-yard line. And on the next play, Elder finds an easy path to the end zone, making it 16-6 Tornadoes. Then in the fourth quarter, with the Tornadoes driving, Twan Dorsey steps in front of a pass. He's able to pull away from one defender, gets some blocks while he makes a cutback, and he's going to be off for an 88-yard touchdown, return of an interception, and it's now 16-12 Tornadoes. The Indiana defense gets a late stop, however, and after Corey Bridges burst his way ahead 9 yards to the 1, Keyshawn Adams is able to leap in the end zone for a touchdown. On Kentucky's next play after the kickoff, the pass is tipped and picked off by Jay Cross. He's going to bring him back 30 yards to the 30-yard line. And on the next play, Corey Bridges caps off a 15-carry, 118-yard effort with this 30-yard touchdown, making the final score Tornadoes 28, Cardinals 12. And in Indiana, the Cutters hosted the Cincinnati Buccaneers, where after both teams missed field goals early, Jaquan Jackson was able to pick off a pass. He's going to work his way across the field for a 33-yard return that sets Cincinnati up at the 21-yard line. On the next play, CJ Talley went deep and Dante Jackson hauled it in for a touchdown, putting the Buccaneers ahead 6-0. Late in the half, the Cutters launched a drive. Griffey fired a 36-yard strike to Isaiah Moore into Buccaneers territory. Then Griffey found Noah Ponce over the middle. He picked up 20 yards to the 6-yard line. But with time running out, the Bucs were able to bring down Griffey in the backfield, and the half ended with Cincinnati still up 6-0. In the third quarter, this 43-yard punt by Griffey was down at the 1-yard line. And on the next play, the Cutters cut the Bucs lead to 6-2 with a safety, as Dante Hart wouldn't let Talley escape the end zone. In the fourth quarter, the Bucs faced a 3rd and 9 when Talley scrambled around before he was finally able to find Tyree Davis for a 20-yard pickup. 2 plays later, Talley stepped up, and this time he found Davis for a 44-yard gain down to the 15-yard line. And 2 plays after that, it was Davis finding a hole in the defense. He caught this touchdown to put the Bucs lead at 12-2. Cincinnati added one more touchdown, this 4-yard pass from Talley to Kirk Johnson. And Jaquan Jackson finished off the 20-2 win for the Buccaneers with his second interception of the game, the 6th by the Sin City defense. Going over all the scores once again, it was a good week to be on the road. The Spartans won at the Dukes 18-14, and the Tornadoes won at the Cardinals 20-12. The Buccaneers also picked up a road win 20-2 against the Cutters. The second time in 3 weeks the Buccaneers have allowed just 2 points. The Gladiators did win at home, completing a season sweep against the Warriors, winning 16-8. While the Blaze picked up a forfeit win against the Huskies, they did play the Findlay Knights and won 43-0 in a non-league game. The Mustangs were off this week. What that means for the standings is this. The Gladiators are not only 4-0 in the Eastern Conference Red Division, they now hold a sweep over the Warriors, who are 2-3 in that division. The Mustangs are 1-3. In the Eastern Conference's Blue Division, the Dukes and Spartans are now tied at 3-2, although the Dukes hold the tiebreaker based on points allowed. The Huskies are 0-5. In the Western Conference's Red Division, the Tornadoes and Cutters are both 2-2, with 2 matchups still remaining, and the Cardinals are 1-4. In the Blue Division, the Blaze remain undefeated at 3-0, while the Buccaneers are a half game back at 3-1. And with the 4th of July holiday coming up this weekend, there will be no games in the BCFL. Play will resume July 9th as we start the home stretch towards the playoffs.